This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Comes Shaw, looks to inbounds.
Oh, he was wide open.
Wide open for that is expires, and that is it. Del City wins.
I saw it the whole time.
They snuck away and they got the revenge. We'll put it back on the instant replay. Watch how he escapes, and nobody is back home. He makes the decision from up the top. He goes up and in, off the glass. Del City wins.
Hey, Deans picks up the dribble. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It's Brewer putting up the three and getting hammered, and it hits the three. The ball game is over. The Lawton Wolverines win 46-43 over the Del City Eagles on the three-point shot of the four-point play by Champ Brewer with 3.3 seconds left. What a basketball game, folks.
High school basketball time on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, bringing you, again, Oklahoma high school basketball, playoff basketball, and we're at Carl Albert High School for the Class 5A Regionals here. The Carl Albert Lady Titans hosting the John Marshall Lady Bears. Starting lineup for the Lady Bears, brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic. Starting lineup for the John Marshall Bears. Trying to see the numbers here. Number 1, Jacinia Brown. Number 10, Lila Taylor. Looking for the other numbers here. Number 25, Candace Brown. Just struggling to see the numbers of the starting lineup as they came out. So number 22, Rakaya Matthews, and number 15, Kanaya Battle. That's the starting lineup for the John Marshall Lady Bears. Starting lineup for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Number 3, Hayden Harrell. Number 11, Evie Mitchell. Number 15, Jakari Brown. Number 21, Malia Hatchett. And number 22, Audrey Plunkett. That starting lineup for Carl Albert. It includes Hayden Harrell, a sophomore. Evie Mitchell is a senior. Jakari Brown's a junior. Malia Hatchett's a sophomore, and Audrey Plunkett's a junior. Only one senior in that starting lineup. John Marshall with a short bench here in this ball game, and as we look at the records for these two teams, Jordan, you have Carl Albert coming in, the district champion in District 5A1 with a record of 24-1 on the season. They're currently on a 15-game winning streak. Their last loss, or their only loss of the season, was back on January 10th against Bartlesville, a 4-point loss. And just the exact opposite for John Marshall, a record of 1-23 on the season. And their only win came against Star Spencer a few months back. They were the 8th seed in District 5A2. We're ready for the tip-off here. It's Audrey Plunkett jumping against Candace Brown for the tip-off. Now, our starting lineups were brought to you by Dynamic Health Clinic. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic.
And we got a new sponsor to talk about here, as well as our old reliable first quarter sponsor.
Audrey Plunkett pulls a three from the right wing. Shot no good. It goes out of bounds. Team rebound for John Marshall.
Now, if I was I'm not nearly the coach that Kyle Ritchie is, but if I was coaching Carl Albert, I would want him to really work on ball movement when they can instead of taking the first quick shot. But that's a shot that Audrey Plunkett will often make, and now an uncharacteristic turnover on Harold. You don't normally see her do that.
Well, it was a turnover both ways there in a matter of seconds as Carl Albert came up with the inbound play from John Marshall, and now John Marshall gets the ball into their front court. And once again, Audrey Plunkett with the steal. This game could get out of hand pretty quickly just from the one looking at the quality of play throughout the season and then the way it's starting off here.
Yeah, it looks like John Marshall does not have solid ball handlers at the moment. We'll see if that changes, but it's just important that Carl Albert not get too relaxed.
Couple of misses early, and Evie Mitchell puts one up. She misses it as well. Ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Plunkett. It's John Marshall basketball. Our new sponsor, Confidence Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, your hometown dealer for new and pre-owned vehicles. Visit Confidence Chevrolet, Buick, GMC today at the Confidence Chevrolet, Buick, GMC exit, Hudeberg at 6100 Tinker Diagonal, Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender.
I know you're very confident reading that. It won't be the last time you read it, so you'll get comfortable with it very quickly here.
And we have a timeout already in this basketball game. Our first period sponsor is Scrambled. We start this game the way you should start your day. For breakfast or brunch, try their chicken and pancakes and deep-fried French toast, 1742 Northeast 23rd Street, Suite A, Oklahoma City, 405-900-5972, Scrambled for breakfast. John Marshall takes the inbound pass. Ball still in the backcourt. Plunkett on D against Taylor. Taylor having to dribble a lot. Plunkett staying right there on her. Passes the ball off probably just in time to avoid a 5-second count. And then Plunkett gets a steal as Jacinia Brown just dribbles right into her. Plunkett gets the first points of the ball game, finally putting 2 points off the glass.
And we missed that replay. Sorry about that, but we were making a change at the camera operator position, so no one's fault there.
All right, so we've got Josh on the camera now, right? No, not
Joseph.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a lot of similar letters.
John Marshall, again, pocket picked. Harrell comes up with the ball, pushing it into the front court, goes around a defender, and just follows the defense right on down the court, pulls up for the mid-range jumper. Shot's no good. Jump ball off the rebound, and the ball will go to John Marshall. Now, interestingly enough, as much as the Carl Albert defense has dominated here early, they've taken quite a few shots. They haven't fallen. We're almost 2 minutes into the ball game, and it's still 2-0.
As good as they've been, it's not uncommon to see Carl Albert have a shooting slope to begin the game. That will help. Get reverse layups for Audrey Plunkett off a steal.
4-0 the score now, 2 minutes into the ball game. And Plunkett just takes the ball right away off the inbound play. She has all 6 points for Carl Albert. 6-0 the score.
Yeah, Carl Albert knows they can get steals mostly whenever they want, and they want to throw a knockout punch in the first quarter. What's interesting is this new thing we're seeing in regionals, Tracy. Who knows if it will continue, where the girls play their first round on Tuesday and don't have to play until Friday afternoon. They've got a foul there and a 4-point play potentially.
Wow. Jakari Brown with the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. We got the Super Subs instant replay. Super Subs has chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken. And Jakari Brown with the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. And now the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Well, we had a lot going on there.
We get them all in. Brown tries to get her own rebound after the miss, gets a takeaway, and she's going to get an and one.
Yeah, this goes back to what I was saying. Carl Albert girls, they're conditioned to get steals against anybody, even the biggest 6A school. And so against a team like John Marshall, again, they want to throw the knockout punch or throw out the knockout punch early. And they're going to be very aggressive trying to get more and more steals. Now they're going to go back and not full court press. As the 12-0 lead early on is enough for them not to press.
Well, 30 seconds ago we were saying it was only 2-0, and Carl Albert scored 10 points in 30 seconds.
Which they can do against even better teams than this.
Taylor puts up the deep shot, no good. Plunkett with the rebound. She's pushing the ball right back up the court. 12-0 the score, 5:15 to play in the first period. Plunkett splits defenders, kicks the ball to Hatchett in the corner. That ball may have gotten just a fingertip on it, and it goes out of bounds off John Marshall's hands. Carl Albert ball on the baseline. 6 points for Jakari Brown, 6 points for Audrey Plunkett.
This is where you want to work on good sets. Just to say that it was a simple slip there for Jakari Brown to get open for three. Couldn't make the shot, though.
Now Taylor has the ball. Plunkett on D. Plunkett runs through a screen there. Surprised we didn't get a foul call on the running through the screen, and then a travel call on John Marshall.
Again, normally for girls you go from playing on a Thursday to a Saturday afternoon, Thursday night to Saturday afternoon. Now you're going from playing on a Tuesday night to a Friday afternoon, so they'll have plenty of rest after this. And the hope is, of course, not to play your starters that much. Nice move there, though.
Nice move by John Marshall. Does not connect off the glass well, and the ball goes on over the rim. Offensive rebound, team rebound for John Marshall, and another timeout called already here in the first period. Not even halfway through the first period. 4:25 left on the clock. 12-0 the score. Carl Albert on top. This is a full timeout, so we'll take a quick break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School for 5A regionals. It's the Carl Albert Lady Titans out to a big lead early, 12-0, halfway through the first period, playing against the John Marshall Lady Bears. It is John Marshall basketball on the baseline. Inbound pass goes right into the hands of Jakari Brown. She's going to push it right on up the court, go to the hole with it, misses the layup, rebound Hatchett, and she gets it to go in.
Malia Hatchett, her dad, I don't know if he's here or not. I would assume he is, but, you know, it's kind of a tough decision. I know he probably should be here to watch his daughter, but the Del City girls hosting a regional for the first time in 5 years. They're about to play on the Oklahoma Sports Network as well. We thank the Altus crew, Levi and Kevin, for covering that game for us.
We got a first foul. No, let's take that back. Second foul of the ball game, or maybe even third, because we had 2 on John Marshall earlier on those shooting fouls on Jakari Brown. Now we've got 5 out and 5 in for Carl Albert with the score at 14-0. It was the first foul against Carl Albert, and it went against Malia Hatchett.
This is what you hope for if you're Carl Albert, but you still want to give your starters some minutes where they can, you know, get any rust they have off, because they haven't played in 8 days.
Right.
Talking about Carl Albert, as that shot goes out of bounds, they'll be back to the Titans. So it'll be interesting to see if Coach Ritchie brings the starters back, and I think he will, but the question is when. Will it not be until the beginning of the third quarter or maybe earlier in the second quarter?
We've got a lot of sisters coming on the court for
Yes,
Carl Albert here. Piper Mitchell out, Jacqueline Brown out on the court now, along with Jordan Richardson, who has been a phenomenal freshman off the bench for them this season. Katie Norton out on the, Kinley Sutton out on the court, and who am I missing? Katie Norton also on the court. I was right when I said that the first time.
Well, I always want to mention when we say Kinley Sutton, her sister Cam Sutton, a really good player here, graduated in 2023. Kinley with a chance for a highlight. And she gets one. We'll get that on the Super Subs replay.
And Sutton just drives the length of the court, goes up for the shot, and didn't really look like a lot of contact, but it did send her to her feet. Super Subs with the Chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecued chicken.
Now, I love protein, so I go to Super Subs and get their steak bomb. I did so 8 days ago, Tracy. We talked about it. I'm still full from it.
And Sutton hits the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. Folks, Toonie Buys Homes in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call Toonie Buys Houses today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Yeah, Super Subs is a great place to go. If you like a protein-rich sandwich, they will load you up on the meat at Super Subs.
Yes, they will. Also, they're expanding their hours. They have drive-through now in the early evening.
What a move and what a shot by Jordan Richardson.
That's such a big deal that she can make a bank shot from that angle. I mean, she just has scoring instincts galore, and I think that the potential she has to set scoring records potentially at Carl Albert, or at least, I don't know when the last high-volume score they had was, but at least to challenge that player for something to that effect.
Well, and to be able to get points, you talking about scoring records and stuff, to be able to get significant playing time and score significant points offensively as a freshman, that doesn't happen in your large schools that often. So Taylor drives in, puts up a floater. Looked like it was headed to the hole, but Richardson comes up with the rebound. Piper Mitchell misses on the layup, but no, she gets called for the travel.
Yeah, felt like a little ticky-tack there. And I'm not saying she definitely didn't travel, but I thought she made a good move, moving her body from right to left there.
I was surprised by the call.
Yeah.
Not questioning it, just surprised by it.
No need to question it.
19-0 the score with 2:23 left to play in the first period. Brown in the corner and a foul called on Jordan Richardson.
Now, it's worth pointing out, I got the score wrong, John Marshall did not play in the playoffs last year. They were not able to. No need to get into why, but, hopefully this is a good experience for them. And they only have 7 players. I'm hoping that they can definitely build, and maybe especially if they can go back down to 4A, which is a possibility. They're normally been a 4A team the last few years. They've been in 5A the last couple of years. Now, their boys' team is a contender in 5A, and we'll see them tomorrow or Thursday night, not on the Oklahoma Sports Network, but they'll be playing here, and maybe we'll see them on the Oklahoma Sports Network Friday if they win.
Jordan Richardson takes a three top of the key, misses it, gets her own rebound, puts a shot back up, no good. A rebound Taylor for John Marshall. She's going to bring the ball on up the court. And a three, top of the key. Taylor takes the shot, no good. Offensive board for John Marshall. Now, Taylor is not afraid to go ahead and put the ball up. She's going to put one in the hole here shortly, but it's still 19-0 with a minute and a half left to play in the first. And a takeaway for John Marshall, as it is Candace Brown just stripping the ball away from Piper Mitchell.
Yeah, maybe a foul in other circumstances, but important for Piper Mitchell. Just keep playing through this. You never know when she'll be called on to give them a lot of minutes, especially maybe next year when her sister graduates.
Richardson misses one from the baseline, eventually gets the rebound, fouled on the putback. Fouls going on Lala Taylor. That'll be her second personal foul. Fourth team foul on the Bears. Jordan Richardson taking the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, and she misses the first.
Another thing I like to talk about when the game is not very close, very important to work on your free throws here because, they're the same difficulty whether you're playing in a blowout of a game or a very close game.
Richardson hits the first, and the score is 20-0 with a minute left to play in the first period. Now, coming up after this game, we've got a game we expect to be much more competitive than this one has started off being, with the Noble Lady Bears taking on the Midwest City Lady Bombers. That's a 4-5 matchup as far as their district standings were concerned, and should be a more competitive game.
So basically the Bears are coming to invade Midwest City. John Marshall Bears against one Midwest City team, and then Noble Bears against the other. Jordan Richardson, by the way, that's the type of shot, again, she's hit a couple of those pull-up shots, those mid-range shots that show that she can, again, has the potential to be a really good scorer. She's actually the third leading scorer on the team, as we saw their stats. She's in double figures on her average, along with Jakari Brown and Audrey Plunkett.
If she puts a bucket in on this possession, she'll be the leading scorer in the game. And she's about to take the shot. There she goes. She has 7, and that puts her ahead of the 6 by Jakari Brown and the 6 by Audrey Plunkett. 24-0. 4 seconds on the clock. Long 3 is short. Out of bounds, and the buzzer. That's the end of the first period of play. The Carl Albert Lady Titans lead the John Marshall Lady Bears 24-0. And we're going to take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School for the 5A regional play. It's Oklahoma High School playoff basketball. The Carl Albert Lady Titans leading the John Marshall Lady Bears 24-0 as we begin the second period of play. Second period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings located at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Buffalo Wild Wings offers buy one, get one wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. And Jacqueline Brown pulls the trigger on a 3 from the left wing. Shot no good. Rebound John Marshall, and turnover as trying to get down the court with Candace Brown just has their dribble tipped away, and she tries to get her hand back on the ball, and it goes out of bounds.
You can tell Candace Brown is pretty fast. Just a little lost control of the ball in that situation.
Skip pass to Jakari Brown. She shoots the 3. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Bobby Lewis Insurance with surprisingly great rates in 2 locations to serve you. Choctaw at 405-281-6700 and Del City at 405-670-3665. John Marshall again defended by Carl Albert. Evie Mitchell back in the ball game along with Jakari Brown. She picks up the steal. Jacqueline Brown for the 3, in and out, and it is Jordan Richardson with the offensive board, the putback, and she has 9 points in this ball game.
Has scored a variety of ways. By the way, this is the answer to my question. Will Coach Ritchie bring some starters back? She already has brought in, or he already has brought in his 2 guards, Evie Mitchell and Jakari Brown, and I think that's in part to play with her sisters, because we got 2 sets of sisters on the floor at the same time for Carl Albert, the Brown sisters and the Mitchell sisters.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yes, he did this for in the Elgin game, Tracy, that we were able to put on the network. That was senior night for Carl Albert. So Evie Mitchell gets the basket, and got to play those 4 together at the same time. So it was senior night for Evie Mitchell. To honor her, Piper Mitchell started alongside her. And then, of course, Jacqueline Brown's a senior, so she got a start. And they're all in the game right now, along with Jordan Richardson, who's a one-man wrecking crew at the moment.
Candace Brown misses the shot from the corner. Carl Albert sets their offense back up. Jordan Richardson post up down low. Jakari Brown for 3. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3.
That's just her sweet spot. All 3 of her threes have been from that area.
And it is 34-0. Another missed shot by John Marshall. Ball goes out of bounds off the rebound. It's Carl Albert basketball. I'll remind you, our title sponsor for this regional tournament is Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC. From oil changes to major repairs, they service all makes and models. Visit Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC. Exit Hudaburg at 6100 Tinker Diagonal, Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender.
really great to have pull in a new sponsor for basketball playoffs, so we really appreciate them.
Carl Albert doing a great job of moving the ball quickly around the perimeter. Evie Mitchell takes the shot from three-point range. Long rebound, bounces around, ends up at the hands of Taylor for John Marshall.
Good catch.
And a steal by Jordan Richardson.
Now Richardson, she just knows what's happening before it happens. That's part of the instinct she has that really impressed me.
Yeah, and just as I was going to say, she has also a great touch on the ball there. She misses the floater in the paint, but yeah, her knowledge of the game is phenomenal. Another shot from outside for John Marshall, just looking for anything to go in. And Carl Albert not having to pressure too much and risk fouls now because they're not real confident that John Marshall's going to put the ball in the hole. Richardson saves the ball from going out of bounds, and Brown out top with it. Kari Brown for three. Front of the rim, no good. Jordan Richardson with the rebound and the putback.
This is becoming just a repeated phrase. And she's had a couple of those offensive rebounds. Carl Albert always has someone to attack the offside glass, and Jordan Richardson does it as well as anybody.
And now shot, and there is a three-point Bobby Lewis Insurance three for John Marshall as they get on the board. 36-3 with 4 minutes to play here in the second, and it looks like we have a running clock right now.
We do have a running clock, and we had a substitution timeout, I think. And still some starters in for Carl Albert, some new starters. In fact, the other three starters are now in.
Hatchett, Plunkett, and Harrell back in the ball game, and they're playing alongside Norton and Sutton. Sutton drives the baseline, kicks the ball to Plunkett, who was cutting and almost missed her. Plunkett had to go back to get that one. Good ball movement right now. Plunkett in the paint, kicks it out. Harrell for three, no good. Plunkett finds her way to the other side of the basket, gets the rebound.
You can tell Plunkett does not want to score right now. She wants to distribute.
Hatchett misses the three, and a rebound for John Marshall. In the ball game for John Marshall is Rakaya Matthews. She had checked out and has come back in. Another three, a little flat, but just off the mark, barely, by Jacinia Brown. There were a lot of Browns on the court a minute ago. There were two for John Marshall and two for.
That's a lot of first names you got to get down then.
And boom, it's a Bobby Lewis Insurance three for Kinley Sutton. She has 6 points in the ball game.
Kinley Sutton, just one of many Titans who can consistently knock down the three. Now, sometimes they'll be on a cold streak, but she's not shy. They got a few players that are not shy normally from shooting threes, and we have seen those players make them in bulk at times. And we saw it from her sister Campbell a few years ago at Carl Albert, just nailing down those threes. We know that she can do it too.
Well, Carl Albert sets their offense back up. Harrell thought about the shot, passes the corner, and Sutton takes another three, no good. Harrell with the rebound, gives it back to Plunkett.
Almost threw it too high. Hard to throw it too high to Audrey Plunkett, though, and she eventually caught it.
Harrell with the rebound in the paint. Somehow, the shortest girl on the court comes up the ball. It really just ended up right in her hands. Plunkett in and out with the ball. Again, like you said a minute ago, Jordan, it really doesn't look like she's, well.
right on cue there, huh?
As I was going to say, it doesn't look like she's looking to score. She takes a three, misses it, and it is Sutton cleaning up.
I think she realizes someone's got to shoot eventually. You can't just all be unselfish, or else that becomes kind of selfish, if you know what I mean. Someone's got to decide, okay, now's the time to shoot.
Yeah, the worst thing in the world is a big church where everyone's trying to be polite and no one will go, leaving the parking lot. And it's a big traffic jam because no one will move, waiting for the other person to go. It's kind of the way it was on offense a minute ago. 41-3 the score. Sutton takes one from the right elbow. It goes in, and Sutton now with 10 points in the ball game.
Now, Sutton scoring off the bench. She's a sophomore, 10 points. That's a really good development for him because she's someone who they can really count on to give him big minutes and someone they may need to really hit some big shots late in a close game if the other four players are getting all the attention.
Taylor misses the three. Rebound, offensive board by John Marshall. Now shot off the glass, put up by Matthews, no good. And here comes Carl Albert with the ball. 30 seconds left before halftime, 43-3. Yes, folks, you heard it. It's a 40-point lead for the Carl Albert Lady Titans here as we near halftime. Plunkett dribbling near midcourt. Jacinia Brown came out, put a little pressure. We're nearing the 10-second mark now before halftime. Jacinia Brown on D. Plunkett driving. Finds
Nice.
Norton under the basket. Goes up with a shot blocked from behind by Taylor. And that is going to be halftime.
I'm going to show the replay anyway because that was such a nice thread-the-needle pass from Audrey Plunkett.
Super Subs instant replay. And interesting, they didn't go ahead and stop the clock with it being an out-of-bounds play. Typically, your clock operator will go ahead and stop it, and the clock buzzer doesn't sound while they're standing out of bounds. But 43-3 the score at halftime. Carl Albert Lady Titans not having any trouble here against the shorthanded, and we call shorthanded just because the bench is so light for John Marshall Lady Bears today. And we're going to take a break, hear from our sponsors here at halftime on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese? It's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
The Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit at Whataburger, available from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. Only it's not that time right now, so it's not available. Instead, we must sit here until 11 p.m. watching footage of the flaky, crispy, buttery goodness that is the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. Once again, our desires are denied by, ooh, look, the Honey Barbecue Chicken Strip Sandwich. That'll hold us over till 11 p.m. What a burger.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Second quarter game brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. If you're watching at Buffalo Wild Wings, they offer BOGO wing deals every Tuesday and Thursday. That's at 5500 Tinker Diagonal here in Del City.
As looks like the Lady Eagles back to the original starters.
And they need a complete line change, did they not, Coach?
Yeah,
right
it
in
was
five.
right back to the original five that started the ball.
And so Santa Fe South with the ball top of the key, moving it left and right, trying to find someone at the high post there. Had it, slipped right through the hands, and here comes Del City looking for the trailing post player. That's number 32, who gets another 2 points, Miss Bonds.
Yeah, they have great post plays. They got a lot of size and depth at that post area because they got a girl that's going to go play college basketball coming off the bench. Could very easily be starter.
And Miss Bonds is just she's just a sophomore, Coach, and she is, like I said, she has really impressed me the 2 times that we faced them this season, just on how smooth she is down there playing the post position.
Tough guard. She uses her size and length, and then you think you're going to get a breather, and they bring in Thornton off the bench, and she just tears it up as well. So.
There's another steal here, shot put up there by number 10, Miss McAllister, doesn't fall. Rebound by Paris Baker, a freshman, and there's Miss Bonds there with the touch that we talked about, and another 2 points.
Yeah, just a lot of times you catch that on the run, and she had a short step to try to get control of it instead of shotgunning it off the backboard. She just nice, soft little teardrop floater there that dropped in real easy on that play for Bonds.
So Santa Fe South with the ball, back up at the top of the key. They've got some motion, got to swing it there, not there. And so back door looked to be open a little bit, but Del City talking really well. They defend really well too, Coach. They're in a 2-3 zone here.
Just going to make it hard because you think you might be open, but their length and athleticism, they can close out on you pretty quick, and then you have to shoot it over. They got long arms. It's just hard to get a clean shot off, get a good look. But I'd be one of the parents right now coaching from the sideline. As soon as my daughter touched it, I'd be saying shoot it every time, which is something I would get mad at when I was coaching. It just
as another 2 points gets put up there by Miss McAllister, the freshman getting the start.
Under 15 seconds left here in the second quarter.
And second quarter brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Another turnover. Lead is 49-0. Rebound there, make it 51-0, and that's going to end out the first half, Coach, as the Santa Fe South Lady Saints. Obviously, when you come into regional play, if you're hosting, you're a number 1 seed, so you're going to be playing an 8 seed. And so Santa Fe knew coming in that this wasn't going to be no easy feat. And 51 points scored in the half, Coach. I don't see them slowing down at all because even their second team coming in can put up some points as well.
Yeah, and then to add insult to injury, their primary ball handler looks like their number 0, Heidi Lopez, may have gone down with an injury, so that's not going to help them at all. But definitely a good first half for the Del City Lady Eagles as they come out on top at halftime with this, like you said, 51-0.
All right, well, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here with more OSSAA regional basketball play live here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Bussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School for the Class 5A regionals. This is a 1 seed versus an 8 seed game. The Carl Albert Lady Titans leading the John Marshall Lady Bears 43-3 after 1 half of play. We've still got 16 minutes to play in this one, folks. It's very lopsided, and we do not expect the Carl Albert Lady Titans to have a meltdown like the Oklahoma City Thunder did last night.
Oh, my God. That put me in a bad mood for a while. I couldn't sleep very well.
That was hard. Yes, it was. 3 off the glass by Lila Taylor for John Marshall to start the half is no good. Putback attempt by John Marshall, and now rebound by Carl Albert. We have 2 starters on the court for Carl Albert right now. Hayden Harrell and Malia Hatchett out there, along with Kinley Sutton, Katie Norton, and Piper Mitchell. Hatchett puts up a shot, gets her own rebound. Boy, just almost hits Harrell in the face with it. Passed it kind of hard from about 3 feet away.
Harrell's got quick hands. She was ready for it. That was an unusual pass at that angle, but actually the right pass by Hatchett.
Piper Mitchell for 3, off back iron, no good. Rebound, John Marshall. Our third quarter brought to you by Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance. The Newby Agency is your local Oklahoma farmers insurance agency in Midwest City. The Newby Agency is family-owned and operated and has been serving the public for over 40 years. Their office is located off of 29th and Air Depot near Tinker Air Force Base. Come by and see them at 560 West Boeing Drive, Suite A, or give them a call at 405-733-7671. Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance.
One reason we may be seeing Malia Hatchett in, not the only reason I'm sure, but she's playing more of a guard position here. She's on the wing. Normally with the starter, she plays on the baseline more of a front court player. Nice post-entry pass.
Just giving her a little bit of a different look, a different position to gain some experience for what place she might be playing next year.
Possibly, although I think expect Jordan Richardson will be playing a lot in a wing on the starting lineup, but that doesn't mean it's still not good for Malia Hatchett at times to play more of a perimeter position. Although I don't see that totally changing next year when you think about who might start for him, because they'll still bring back Brown and Plunkett. Talking about Jakari Brown.
Harrell running point for Carl Albert right now. Piper Mitchell on the right wing looking inside. Norton at the high post. There's
right there. That's
Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Malia Hatchett.
Give Malia Hatchett some threes from that spot, some Bobby Lewis threes. That will serve him well in the future.
Bobby Lewis Insurance, surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you. Choctaw 405-281-6700.
So last I checked, Tracy, the Del City girls pitching a shutout, and this is just what we expect when you have the host teams. Host teams are playing the first game, the 6 o'clock game, and you're talking about the highest seeds against the lowest seeds, and that they will almost always get lopsided.
You don't necessarily expect them to be as lopsided as a shutout at a 43-3 game or 46-3 game now, but you do expect very lopsided, no doubt.
And it's the 7:30 games that will be interesting, and I can say that's going to be true tonight when we got on the network at Del City High School, Lawton MacArthur and Altus, 2 Oklahoma Sports Network teams. That's a total pick 'em. I have no idea who's going to win that game. And, of course, we'll have Midwest City and Noble, and that's another 4-5 matchup. I like Midwest City in that game, but I don't love them because, again, it's a 4-5 matchup, so that's how it's supposed to work.
Right, absolutely. Just that you look at that 4-5 matchup and you go look at their records, who they've played this year, and you can't find common opponents even to try to get a good feel for, hey, they played this team this way and the other team played them, within 3 or something like that. It's just, it's really just if you haven't seen the teams play.
Well, I believe Midwest City has Piper Mitchell nails a Bobby Lewis 3. Midwest City and Noble have both played Lawton MacArthur. Midwest City beat Lawton MacArthur earlier in the season, but they split with Noble, so I don't know if that really tells us much. And now, again, the Midwest City played it much earlier in the season.
So the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Piper Mitchell gives her first points of the ball game. 49-3 is the score now. Rebound goes out of bounds, and we've got 5 in, 5 out for Carl Albert again. And we've got some new players entering the game for Carl Albert. Jacqueline Brown re-enters, but entering with her now is Kelly Kesner. Let's see, Addison Purcell.
Isis Hayes.
Creighton Christensen, Isis Hayes, Haynes, and who is the other player that entered here? Maybe I named them all.
I thought you did.
Okay. So Carl Albert with the ball, 3 from the corner, from the wing, shot no good.
Kastner shooting there. She's not shy from three-point range, which is good. You need someone to be a gunner there with, especially when you're going against the zone.
Jacinia Brown brings the ball up the court, and then we're going to have a foul call against Carl Albert. That'll send Candace Brown to the line to shoot to Dubois Houses. Free throws.
That was Jacinia Brown, I believe, who has the only points for John Marshall until now, perhaps.
Correct. And nice looking free throw by Candace Brown. She puts that one in, no problem. Toonie buys houses in any condition. If you know someone who needs to sell a home for any reason, call today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Candace Brown hits both of the Toonie buys houses free throws. And the score is 49-5. Carl Albert running their offense. Christensen cuts into the middle. Drops back into the corner. From the top of the key, a three put up by Purcell. Shot no good. Rebound by Jacinia Brown. And there's a three. Front rim, no good. Jacqueline Brown gets the rebound, brings the ball up the court for Carl Albert. She takes three from the top of the key. It goes in and out. Ball tipped out of bounds. Well, that's an interesting foul call.
Yeah, I didn't see a foul exactly, but.
You had a ball tipped by a John Marshall player and a Carl Albert player standing in front of her. They called a foul on the Carl Albert player, and I don't think there was any contact between them at all.
By the way, we still have a running clock. So this game will end early, but I still expect the Midwest City Noble game to start right at 7:30.
Yeah, you want to give their fans plenty of time to get here to watch the game.
Absolutely. You want a good, especially if you're Carl Albert, you want a good gate.
Absolutely.
That means, of course, the amount you get for tickets.
Well, and OSSA wants a good gate, too, because they get a big chunk of that.
Of course they do. They get a big chunk of everything, especially in the playoffs.
49-5 the score, 50 seconds left to play in the third period. This third period, again, brought to you by Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance, and our title sponsor for this regional tournament is Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for new and pre-owned vehicles. Visit today at Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC. Exit Hudeberg at 6100 Tinker Diagonal, Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender.
They did stop the clock briefly while the free throws are being shot. I don't think they want the quarter to end on while free throws are being taken.
And that was Addison Purcell shooting those free throws, right?
Yes.
Purcell hits the first and misses the second of the Toonie buys houses free throws. Isis Haynes falls to the court with the ball, gets it passed out, and Purcell now with the ball in the corner. Wide open for three. Boom! It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance three for Kelly Kessner. And that's 3 threes in the quarter for Carl Albert. 53-5 is the score now with 8 seconds on the clock. John Marshall, Lila Taylor for three. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Christensen. And that's the quarter. 53-5 is the score after 3 periods of play here in this Class 5A regional game. Carl Albert Lady Titans on top on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Whataburger, please Brent back the Monterey melt. Brent back. Okay, yeah, message received. We're Brentfing it back. Grilled peppers and onions, 2 slices of melty cheese, and jalapeno ranch on 2 fresh beef patties. Brent it on. The Whataburger Monterey melt is back. We brunched it all right. What a burger!
Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School for Class 5A regional action. It is the Oklahoma High School basketball playoffs. The Carl Albert Lady Titans, the 1 seed in this regional, taking on the 4th seed in the regional, the 8th seed from their district, the John Marshall Lady Bears, and the score is 53-5 as we begin this third period of play. Fourth period. Fourth period brought to you by Louis in Midwest City. Louis, located at 6007 Southeast 15th Street. Louis, we're in your neighborhood. And just like that, we've got Katie Norton getting a bucket to start the scoring in the 4th period for Carl Albert. Offensive board, put back attempt by Kanaya Battles, no good. And here come the Lady Titans once again. That pass tipped out of bounds, and that is Isis Haynes that was making that pass.
Some of these players for Carl Albert playing now are freshmen. Kelly Kessner, Isis Haynes, and you can see the potential there, and so it's just this is a team in Carl Albert that's going to be deep and loaded the next few years.
A couple of these girls look pretty confident out on the court right now too, and you know you're in a game that's so lopsided. If you make a mistake, it's not critical to the game, so they're not worried about that. But you just see them, the way they handle the ball and handle themselves, they feel pretty comfortable with the basketball in their hands.
Well, and not that Coach Ritchie would talk about next year right now, but I would and say that they will miss Evie Mitchell a lot, and they'll miss Jackie Brown without a doubt. If they can keep everyone else, you never know with the transfer rules being what they are, but they will have a loaded roster next year and a bunch of players that I think will be better.
Creighton fires a three from the corner, no good. Lila Taylor gets the rebound for John Marshall. She gives it to Jacinia Brown, who brings the ball up the court. 6 minutes to play in this one. Matthews passes off to Taylor. Taylor fires another one. She has put up a lot of shots in this ball game, especially in the first half. Nothing has fallen for her. 50-point lead for Carl Albert now. Long pass across the court. And Kesner puts up the three. No, excuse me, that was not Kesner. That was Addison Purcell puts up the three. It's the Bobby Lewis Insurance three. Surprisingly great rates. 2 locations to serve you. Call them in Dell City at 405-670-3665.
A lot of threes made by Carl Albert, and you know, not tomorrow. Of course, it'll be tomorrow when you talk about the boys' games, because those will be Thursday to Friday. But when they play Friday afternoon, it'll be their last home game here, and that could be quite advantage. They're 3-point shooting, and they have so many players who can go off from 3-point range.
Norton inside, puts it up off the glass. That was a good dish to her from her teammate. 60-5 with 5 minutes left. There's a three, front rim, no good. Norton with the rebound. Christensen gets around. Brown dribbles off her own foot. Brown's going to get the layup. Jacinia Brown with 5 points. John Marshall has 2 field goals in this game. Jacinia Brown has both of them now. Now corner to Haynes. Haynes goes around her defender, goes up off the glass. Now she did use her right hand going for an easy left-handed layup, but she completed the shot well. And there's the super subs, instant replay. Super Subs has the chicken Phillies, folks. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken. Shot blocked, rebound Christensen. Christensen brings the ball back up the court. Carl Albert sets up their offense. Man defense, nope. Call it a zone. I thought it was man, the way they spread out. But
it looked like a little both.
And Purcell fires the three, no good. Rebound by Kesner. Christensen for three. Well, she's got a spring when she shoots, doesn't she?
Yeah, gets good lift on her shot.
Now Haynes gets a takeaway, and Carl Albert will reset their offense with 3.5 minutes left to play. Corner, Kesner dribbles off a foot. Ball in the hands of John Marshall, tipped out of bounds by Purcell. And it's John Marshall basketball. Piper Mitchell checks back into the ball game as Katie Norton takes a seat.
Again, 2 good games coming up on the network. Lawton MacArthur Altus over at Dell City. Berenson in that game, actually, even though it's not a mid-Dell team. That outcome will really interest me. It kind of will determine what we do as far as where we go these on Thursday and Friday. But then also right here, Midwest City and Noble.
Three from the top of the key by Purcell's no good. Rebound, Candace Brown. Jacinia Brown brings the ball to the court now. Now there are more basketball games to be played, Carl Albert. I was talking to them in the concession stand earlier, found out they're going to be a host for 6A area tournament next week.
Really?
Yes.
I would love to know who the 5A hosts are, but this is a good stadium to have, or as I call it, stadium. This is a good gymnasium, field house, whatever you want to call it. It's hosted the first round of the girls' 6A state tournament back in 2022. So it makes total sense that this would be a site for 6A. Of course, 6A, you want it to be them and not 5A, because you never know what local teams could be playing here if it's 5A.
Right. Candace Brown for 3, shot no good. And it goes out of bounds with 1:55 left to play. And why did we stop the clock that time? Maybe we're going to stop the clock under 2 minutes.
Maybe force a habit. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe they agreed to stop it under the 2-minute mark so that we don't have happen again what happened earlier. Nice move by Purcell as she gets around the defender and drives into the basket, scores 2 points. Not $2. 64-7 the score with 1.5 left to play in the ball game. Justinian Brown top of the key. She'll take the 3. That one was close. Rebound by Haynes. And here come the Lady Titans again. Long pass down the court. Purcell, long 3, back iron. Battling for it. Coming up with the ball is Matthews for John Marshall. Candace Brown looked like she was going to go to the basket no matter what. She pulls up and shoots the 3. And now Piper Mitchell's headed the other way. Isis Haynes for 3. Off the glass. There's the Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. 67-7 the score. Justinia Brown goes in. She's going to the line to shoot Toonie Buys Houses free throws as she draws the foul on Kelly Kesner.
Well, we want to go ahead and mention our player of the game. Any input, Tracy?
Jakari Brown's the leading scorer in the game for Carl Albert, but what Jordan Richardson did when she came in, rebounding, steals, putbacks, the energy she brought in, really, really impressed by that freshman once again, and she didn't often get that opportunity coming off the bench to be the player of the game. But
that's where I'm going to.
67-9 the score as John Marshall got the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Well, we want to thank Triple H Screen Printing for being our player of the game sponsor.
World-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite Screen Printing. Ball tipped away and a takeaway off the inbound play. John Marshall with 20 seconds left, a chance to put some more points. And another foul, that one going against Christensen as Candace Brown just pushed the ball right up the court.
Look forward to head down there. Still, even though this game was kind of a game we weren't expected to be close, still look forward to talking to Coach Ritchie and hopefully finally get to talk to Jordan Richardson.
Candace Brown misses the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Toonie Buys Houses, folks, any condition. If you need to sell one or know someone who does, tell them to call for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Candace Brown has 5 points in the ball game, all from the free throw line. And long pass down goes out of bounds. 10 seconds left play. It'll be John Marshall ball. 67-10 is the score. Want to thank our quarter sponsors, Scrambled, Buffalo Wild Wings, Patrick Newby, Farmers Insurance, and Louis. And that's the ball game, folks, as the Carl Albert Lady Titans win, making their record 25-1 on the season now. They are in the winner's bracket, going on into the regional tournament to play on Friday for the regional championship. 67-10 the score as they defeat the John Marshall Lady Bears. Jordan's going down to talk to Coach Kyle Ritchie and Jordan Richardson, our Triple Elite Screen Printing Player of the Game. Today's title sponsor, Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC. From oil changes to major repairs, Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC services all makes and models. Visit them today. Exit Kudaburg at 6100 Tinker Diagonal, Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. Jordan down on the court with Coach Kyle Ritchie and Jordan Richardson. And Jordan, the mic is yours, sir.
All right, Coach, when you start to get it confidently ahead like that, what do you focus on? What's important for you as a coach to communicate to your team?
Oh, you still got to execute, you still got to communicate, got to do the right things. Before I keep going on, Coach Gardner does a great job at John Marshall. Yes, we won the game, but he does a great job, and I just want everybody to know that. I mean, he puts in the work. Yeah, sometimes the score doesn't come out on his behalf, but I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
All right, and then when you get the chance to bring in some of the younger players, a lot of freshmen get to play both the second quarter and then leading in the second half. What do you see from them that you like? And is there a couple players that have really impressed you lately?
Yeah, it's too hard to just point out one. Everybody comes to practice every day. What I love is, I talked about it. We had a video the other day, and I said, really, yeah, you can watch the plays that are made, but watch our bench. Everybody supports everybody. I'm bringing this freshman right off the bench right now, and she's doing great for us. She's a great spark, great energizer to us, and so she deserves to be standing here as well.
Okay, last question. I know you'll be scouting the next game very attentively. What are some things you're looking for in that?
Well, obviously, we've played Noble twice, so we know them pretty well. Midwest City is a very, very good basketball team. Yeah, they've lost 7 games, but only 5 teams. 2 to Dell City, 2 to Classen, 1 to Duncan, 1 to Norman North, 1 to Ardmore. All those teams are really good. And this team right here that just walked behind us is a really good basketball team. So we got to play somebody for a third time or our district rivals. Neither one are going to be easy.
All right, we look forward to that game Friday afternoon, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jordan Richardson. Jordan, as a freshman, what was the biggest challenge coming into the season, and how do you feel like you've handled that load?
It's the hardest thing for me was probably just knowing I'm gonna be out there and be ready to actually play, because it was kind of nervous to go out there as a freshman. And
well, I like how aggressive you are because you know what you want as far as the score goes. You know what type of shots you want, and so do you feel like you're always a threat with the ball? Is that your mentality when you come off the bench and you look to shoot right away?
Yeah, my mentality is to attack and get open shots, and I want to be a threat to make more things happen.
Okay, and I'm confident I'll be talking to you a lot more in the future because you have a very impressive game. But for tonight, the next game coming up, are you going to just relax and enjoy yourself, or are you going to scout these teams as well, along with your coaches?
I'm going to scout them with along with coaches.
Okay, well, you should tell me what your scouting report is when I see you on Friday, okay?
Okay.
All right, Jordan, thank you.
Thank you.
Tracy?
Oklahoma Sports Network, this is Tracy Mussett. We just wrapped up the first game of this Class 5A Regional. The Carl Albert Lady Titans get the win 67-10 over the John Marshall Lady Bears. Jordan just talked to your player of the game, Jordan Richardson. She had 11 points, come off the bench, scored 11 points for the Lady Titans, and brought just a tremendous amount of energy with her when she came out as well. And so we want to congratulate her and congratulate Coach Kyle Ritchie and the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Not a whole lot to talk about this one, and the leading scorer was Jakari Brown with 12 points. But coming off the bench, you had some players that played well late in the game. Addison Purcell ended up with 6 points. Malia Hatchett had your starters. Audrey Plunkett had 6. Malia Hatchett had 5. Jakari Brown had 12 points. Hayden Harrell never scored in this game. She put up a few shots, but she was distributing and didn't play a lot of minutes. And Evie Mitchell scored 2 points as well. Kelly Kesner had 3 points off the bench. Piper Mitchell had 3 points off the bench. Again, we said Addison Purcell had 6. Katie Norton had 4 points. Isis Haynes had 5 points. Kinley Sutton ended up with 9 points off the bench. And so just an all-around good performance and some good playing time for some younger girls for Coach Kyle Ritchie. We're going to go ahead and wrap up here and get ready for our next game, which is going to be a great competitive game between the Noble Lady Bears and the Midwest City Lady Bombers. We want to thank our sponsors. Of course, our title sponsor for this week's tournament is Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC. We also want to thank Dynamic Health Clinic, Tuning Buys Houses, Bobby Lewis Insurance, Super Subs, Triple Elite Screen Printing, Scrambled, a great place to go for breakfast, Buffalo Wild Wings, Patrick Newby Farmers Insurance, and Louis in Midwest City. Appreciate everyone who makes this possible. And, Jordan, I really appreciate being able to sit next to you, and your knowledge of the game and your knowledge of these teams is just invaluable in these broadcasts.
Well, I didn't know a whole lot about John Marshall, so that was tough. I really loved how Coach Ritchie gave their head coach
some love.
Yes, and Anthony Gardner. And some of these girls' coaching jobs are really tough. They just don't get the players. I don't know if you Tracy, you pay really close attention to the smaller schools real well. But I don't know if you noticed what was going on with PC West, the defending 6A champs, and they just all their players left. And it can happen more frequently now than before. And so they had a rough year, and I'm sure they probably lost their game tonight. Well, actually, 6A girls are going to be Thursday. But still, it's tough like that. That's a tough job. And they had a new head coach take over. I really feel for her and people that are in those situations where the talent just doesn't come on those particular few years. So, really appreciate Coach Gardner giving us a roster earlier today, and I hope nothing but the best for John Marshall girls basketball going forward. Hopefully they can get some of the talent they need to come in, and they'll have some good seasons.
Well, they were coming out of a tough spot at the end of the season last year, and
yes, they were. They had to forfeit last year.
And he's, as when you're the coach with a team like that this year, coming out of what was last year, taking that responsibility and driving and having confidence and teaching character and all of those things, it's a challenge. And he got some love from Coach Ritchie. And anyone who will take on that responsibility deserves a pat on the back. So,
yep,
yeah, absolutely. So again, 67-10 is the final score. Carl Albert Lady Titans defeat the John Marshall Lady Bears, and we're going to get ready for the next game. Thank you for being in our audience today on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.